So today we're going to be making an omelette, a classic French rolled omelette. This is one of the items that we serve at dinner time on the Marche menu. One of the things I loved about being in Paris and being at some of the bistros and brasseries was that I could get eggs really any time. And eggs are a fantastic midday, afternoon, evening dish. So our favorite right now is an omelette that's filled with smoked salmon, house smoked salmon, and a little bit of asparagus, because we're right in the middle of asparagus season and salmon season has just begun. We have these fantastic organic eggs that we get from our friends down in the market, and they're just blended with a little bit of salt and pepper. We warm up the filling, we assemble the omelet, and the real key to a nice rolled French omelet is that it's still sort of soft inside, and it looks like a cigar shape when it's on the plate, and it doesn't have any color. It's this sort of magic point of balance between really being firm cooked and undercooked, and there's that magic point that you want to capture when you make a French rolled omelet. Typically, I usually do about 3 eggs per omelet, but these guys are pretty small. They're fantastic, they're beautiful. They just come all of these different colors from those great chickens. But we're gonna do 4 eggs just because they're kind of tiny. So a little salt and pepper. First thing I'm going to actually do is warm up the filling a little bit. We're using clarified butter. That's butter that's been simmered, and the milk solids and the water separates, and we skim that off. And we like using it for omelets and sometimes for sautéing because the butter doesn't brown on you. It has a much higher smoking point, and it has loads and loads of flavor. It's also fine to warm up these ingredients. And I'm just going to toss some of my salmon in there, and then some of my asparagus, a tiny bit of salt and pepper. And that pan was pretty warm, so I think it's fairly warm, and I'm just going to set it off to the side. And by the time I make the omelet, it should be nice and heated through. Talk about the omelet a little bit before we put it in the pan. This pan's a little hot, and so it's going to cool while we chat about it. Now the key to the French omelet is paying attention, I guess, and controlling the heat and making sure it doesn't get away from you. A non-stick pan is key. I think that we've cooled off a bit. We're going to add our clarified butter, and then right in behind that we're going to add the eggs. So we're going to grab a little butter, allow that to melt. I think that's enough butter. Okay, and then next in goes the egg, and then we agitate it because we want some nice curds. The more you move it, the more you get nice curds. They're going to be lovely and soft. So now you can see that they're pretty runny, but there's a lot of heat in the pan. So it's time to actually stop cooking them. It's time to add that filling. A little bit of oil that goes in there. And now is the critical part, is getting it rolled. And you see how it's still nice and soft. And we get it up to the edge because we want it to be folded over. And then getting it on the plate is a sort of a two-handed process. You have the lip of the open side of the omelet hanging there. And you have your plate, and you're going to drop the omelet on the plate. And let it roll over. And now we have a classically done French omelet that's stuffed with smoked salmon and asparagus, made at Marche Bistro and Wine Bar.